Hello friends, today is Wednesday, the 24th October 2018. Today we will see the stanza number 9. This is the one, the stanza number 9. First let's begin. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Let's begin. So, yeah, this is the one we are seeing here, which is, we are still in the chapter 1, Analysis of Consciousness, Chitta Sangaha Vibhaga, and stanza number 9, which is Wholesome, Resultant, Rootless Consciousness. We can see for wholesome, we can see the full apple, the full green apple, and then the resultant is the turning arrow we can see here, and then the rootless is there is a cross mark on the root. We are now seeing the second class of rootless consciousnesses. In the last lecture we saw the unwholesome resultant consciousnesses or unwholesome resultant rootless consciousnesses. Now this one is wholesome resultant rootless consciousnesses, which is called as kusala vibhaga ahetuka chittani. So kusala is wholesome, vibhaga is resultant, ahetuka means rootless, consciousness is chitta, and consciousnesses is chittani. So let's read the stanza number 9. Yeah, so this is the one. Yes, sorry, stanza number, yeah, this is the one. So, upekka sahagatam chakku viññānam tatha sota viññānam gāna viññānam jiva viññānam sukha sahagatam kaya viññānam upekka sahagatam sampatichana chittam sommanasa sahagatam santirana chittam upekka sahagatam santirana chittanchati imani athabhi kusala vibhaga hetuka chittani nama. So once more, number 8 is the number 8, 9, 10, 11 up to 15 is we are counting the rootless consciousnesses. This is the 8th, from 8th to 15th rootless consciousnesses, or belonging to the wholesome resultant rootless consciousnesses. Yeah, let me read it again. Yeah, let's read it later. These are 8 in number. Yeah. Let's go through to the subject here. So in the so we have seen this sense door process in which the eye meets the image here, or any of the 5 sense doors of the eye. Yeah, give me 1 minute here. The 5 sense door process here is as soon as the eye meets the image, Suddenly the 5 sense door adverting consciousness, or the Panchadwara Avachana Chitta, which says, oh, an object is coming through the eye. That's what it says. An image, or an object through the eye is coming. An image is coming through the eye door. That's what it says here. So fine. So and then the next one, what happens is the eye consciousness is formed, which is conditioned by the either the kusala kamma or the akusala kamma, or the good wholesome action that we have done, or the unwholesome action that we have done. So in the last lecture, all the actions were done by the akusala. Akusala means unwholesome actions, but in this what we see is it is done by the wholesome actions. So let's remove this one. So what happens here is it's conditioned. What we see here, the eye consciousness is conditioned by the wholesome action here, and then the receiving consciousness, sampatichana chitta, is again conditioned by the past wholesome karma that we have done here. That means, and then the investigating consciousness is also conditioned by the wholesome karma that we have done before. So what happens is the object through the eye door is passed on through the adverting consciousness says something is coming through the eye door, and then the eye sensitivity and the image that is captured through the eye sensitivity joins, and then the eye consciousness is formed, and it is conditioned by the wholesome karma that we have done before. The past wholesome karma conditions it. Let us see. We will see how it conditions in the further. And here again, after the eye consciousness forms, the receiving consciousness receives the object here, and again this is also conditioned by the past good karma that we have done, and then the object passes on to the next consciousness, which is the investigating consciousness, which is again conditioned by the good karma that we have done, and then later, and then it is passed on. And then it is passed on to the mind door, and then the mind door, whatever happens is next is not our inquiry here. We will see it later. So up to here we will see this is what is happening in the rootless consciousnesses. So in the last lecture we saw the unwholesome resultant chittas, which are chitta number 13 to chitta number 19. Because it's unwholesome here, these are rootless, of course. Because it's unwholesome, we saw in the body consciousness we felt pain in the body, but since the akusala or unwholesome karma resultant is not too strong in these consciousnesses, it was seen as equanimity. But let us see now in the rootless wholesome resultants here. Is the wholesome and resultant here, and it's rootless wholesome resultant. We can see the first four doors of the eye door, ear door, nose door, and tongue door consciousness. In the we feel it as equanimity, same as in the unwholesome karma, also unwholesome resultant, also it was equanimity. And same here, we feel it as equanimity in the four consciousnesses. Chitta number 20, and first these are 8 in number. The kusala kamma or kusala, the resultant kusala vibhaga chittani is ahetuka kusala vibhaga chittani, which is the rootless wholesome resultant, is 8 in number, from 20 chitta number 20 to chitta number 27. So first 4 is the eye, ear, pertaining to the eye, ear, nose and tongue, and then the 5th one is the body consciousness. And in the body, because it's wholesome resultant, we feel it as a pleasure, as a pleasurable sensation in the body. When it is unwholesome, it was felt as pain, which we saw in the last lecture, but here it is felt as pleasure on the body consciousness. Since the body consciousness is very strong, we can sense it as a pleasure. And and then the next consciousness is in the once the object is passing through the eye door or ear door or nose door and tongue door, and then the next one is the adverting consciousness forms from the and then after that it comes to the eye consciousness or whatever the respective consciousnesses is formed, and then the receiving consciousness is forming here. So the receiving consciousness here, I have put the gift symbol, which is also perceived as equanimity, which is same as which is perceived as equanimity here in the unwholesome resultant also, but the object is perceived as in the unwholesome it is perceived as anitta or undesirable, but here in the wholesome resultant rootless chittas, we perceive the when we receive the object, it is taken as equanimous, but when investigating, it is when it is investigated, one is when the object is for example here it's the big I have used the big lips here to denote it as a ati-itta. Adi-itta means extremely desirable object is perceived as very desirable, extremely desirable, and as a joy, and joy comes here, which is perceived as joy, and this is an investigating consciousness, which is chitta number 26. But when the object is just desirable, but not too much desirable, then the object is perceived with equanimity. The feeling is equanimity, and is again the when the investigating consciousness arises, it will be with equanimity, and the object is perceived just as itta. Itta means desirable, but when it is joy, it is adi-itta, extremely desirable. The object is perceived as extremely desirable. Why this happens is the body, it is pleasure, and then because it is wholesome resultant, because what we have done is wholesome, the action was wholesome before, and then so the resultant is perceived as as pleasure on the body, and also it is perceived as joy, and the object is perceived as adi-itta, extremely desirable. Joy is here, I have used the joyous mask, and in the investigating consciousness, other way is one is the object is perceived as extremely pleasurable, extremely the object perception is extremely desirable otherwise, or just desirable, and the feeling associated for the just desirable is equanimity, and extremely desirable is joy here. So in the investigating consciousness, we have this chitta number 26 and chitta number 27. Receiving is chitta number 25, and here what we have to remember is chitta number 24, which is the body consciousness, which is related to wholesome, rootless, resultant chitta, which is pleasure. These all others are same. So this is it. So we have come to the end of this lecture, which is for the rootless, wholesome, resultant. We have seen the 8 chittas. Let's again compare it with the stanza here. So it is upekka sahagatam. Upekka sahagatam means arising with upekka, with equanimity, is chakku vinyanam. Chakku is the eye consciousness. So eye consciousness is arising with equanimity. Let us see here. So in the rootless, wholesome, resultant, so the eye consciousness, that is chitta number 20, is arising with equanimity. Yeah, so the next one is upekka sahagatam sota vinyanam. So upekka sahagatam, arising with equanimity, is sota vinyanam. Sota is ear vinyanam, ear consciousness. So here the ear consciousness is chitta number 21, which arises with equanimity. Now again, upekka sahagatam gana vinyanam. Gana is the smell consciousness, is arising with upekka, with equanimity. So let us see. So the nose consciousness or the smell consciousness, which is chitta number 20, is arising, is seen with equanimity. So the next one is upekka sahagatam jiva vinyanam. Jiva is taste consciousness or the tongue consciousness, is seen with upekka, is seen with equanimity. So here tongue consciousness, which is chitta number 23, is seen with equanimity in the rootless, wholesome, resultant. So next one is sukha sahagatam kaya vinyanam. Sukha sahagatam means sukha is joy, kaya is body conscious, vinyanam is consciousness, body consciousness is seen with sukha. Sukha means joy, is arising with joy. Let's check it here. So body consciousness, which is chitta number 24 here, which is arising with pleasure. Sukha is pleasure, bodily pleasure. So sukha is sukha here is bodily pleasure, is arising with the body consciousness. So body consciousness, which is chitta number 20, is arising with bodily pleasure, which is a rootless, wholesome, resultant chitta of the body consciousness. Next is and then upekka sahagatam sampatichana chittam. Sampatichana chittam is the receiving consciousness. Sampatichana means receiving consciousness arises with upekka, with equanimity. So let us see. So here the receiving consciousness, which is chitta number 25, is seen with equanimity. And the next one is Sommanasa Sahagatam. Sommanasa is joy. Sommanasa is joy arising with So the Santirana is investigating. Chittam is consciousness arises with Sommanasa, with joy. So let us see. So the investigating consciousness here, which is Chitta number 26, is arising with joy. And then with joy, and the object is perceived as extremely desirable, because we have done the wholesome karma, and the resultant is what we feel here, and it is rootless, and it is joy here, which is Chitta number 26. And then the last one is Upekka Sahagatam Santirana Chittam. So it is again the investigating consciousness, which is arising with Upekka, with equanimity. Let's see here. So again the investigating consciousness, which is Chitta number 27 here, which is with equanimity, and the object what we see is seen as just desirable, because what we have done here is wholesome karma, and here it is the rootless wholesome resultant is what we feel here. So the rootless wholesome resultants are from Chitta number 20 to Chitta number 27. Next we will see the rootless functional chittas in the next lecture. Let's finish it here. So let's see here. Imani Atha Phi Kusala Vibhaga Hetuka Chittani Nama. So these are all Nama. These are all the Imani. These are all Atha 8. Kusala is wholesome. Vibhaga is resultant. Hetuka is Vibhaga Hetuka. Sorry, it's Ahetuka. Is Vibhaga Hetuka means rootless. Chittani. So here it will be. Ahetuka Chittani Nama. Chittani is chittas. So let's finish this lecture. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So through this lecture, I hope many beings will be able to understand the Buddha's Abhidhamma. So let whatever the good karma I have amassed through this lecture, and through all the existences that I have had before, present, and will have in the future, all the merits that I amass, let them be. I willingly share them with all the beings. For their well-being, I share willingly, and equally I share with them. And let all beings forgive me for all the wrongs I have done to them in the past, in the present, and in the future. I also ask the Buddhas, the Pacceka Buddhas and Arahants for forgiveness for whatever wrongs I have done to them in the past, present, and future. Please forgive me, and let whatever I do form a basis for me to become a Sotapanna, and thereby attain Nibbana. Thank you.